Shalom,
Khan.
shalom.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom is Brother Pada Wathio from SOZ Houston.
And this is brother Karatazar from SOZ Houston as well.
Khan, coming back with another episode of what? Blow Your Trumpet,
And stay on your pivot, man.
right? And you know what we're doing? This is like a current events channel. We're gonna go into the things that we see in the earth, Salakia. We're gonna go over the things that we see in the earth, and we're gonna match it up with the scriptures, man, to let everybody know what the Lord is doing here, man. Right? Let me start off with this right here, Salakia. Right? Let me get this precept real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna put up on the screen so everybody can see.
Khan.
Right? And then give me 1 second. Share screen. Oh, okay. You want that right there. Con, can you see?
Khan, all praise.
Con. Let me get the scripture real quick. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so the Lord said what? The watchmen, they're going to set themselves on the tower, and they're going to watch to see the things that's going on in the earth, man. Right? And they're going to see what they're saying to him. Hey, the Lord doesn't have to physically, you know what I'm saying, whisper in your ear for him to be talking to you, man. Right? The things of the earth let you know what the Lord is going to be doing in the earth, man.
Khan.
Right? You can find out from what Yahweh Shah said in Matthew the 24th chapter that we are in the last days, man. Right? You got things going on in the earth, tumult among men, right? War going on, sprinkling forth, right? So all of these things the Lord wrote about, man. And it's our job to do what? To watch and see. But let's read on a little bit more. It says what? Right? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And so all the visions and all the parables and all the prophecies written in this book, they're speaking to us, man. They're showing you what times that we're in. They're showing you that what? Hey, the kingdom is at hand, man. That it's time for us to wake up in these last days and repent and keep the commandments, man.
That's
Right?
right.
So that's why we got to do what? We got to watch, right? And we got to wait, and we got to tarry, and we got to make sure because it will surely come to pass. So we got to prepare ourselves for it, man. All right, come on,
That's
go
right.
ahead, King.
Go ahead. Can you pull up Colossians 3 and 17?
Of course. Let's get that real quick.
Like the brother just said, man, it's very important to, wait and endure this thing, because there's so many events that the Lord's going to bestow upon us that we got to be in good spirits, good mind, good physical conditioning. We got to be ready for these things, right? The Lord has given us so many uh, chances to kind of reap and be ready for what's about to happen. So whatever you sowing, good or bad, you're gonna reap this thing right here. But we're gonna start this off with can you read that out, King?
Con. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, give it thanks to the power, right? Yahweh and the Father by him.
And that's what we love to do, man. So we come out here to blow this trumpet, like my brother said right now. We're doing this all to give glory to the Most High in everything that we do. If it's a video, if we talking to each other, we not on a camera, we not on the streets teaching. Everything we do, we try to have honor and respect unto the Lord's name, man. And we do it through His Son Yahweh Shai just so we can make sure that we uphold the highest respects for our brothers and our most and our God, man. And like the brother was saying, we gotta be in this thing to win it. So I'm gonna bring out the scripture of Psalms 27:14, because this is the conditioned mindset that you should be in, man. We're going through a lot of affliction. We're seeing a lot of impactful events that are taking place, but we have to be in a good place in spirit and in mind, man. Oh, Shaw.
Con. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 27, and verse 14. Wait of the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord.
You see that? We have to reiterate that, man, because what we don't like to do is be patient, because we still trying to grow those fruits of the spirit. We are still trying to be those people that are striving for that perfection and that righteousness within the Lord, man. We're trying to obtain a pure heart towards the Lord. So there's some requirements, man. We got to wait on the Lord firstly. When you start seeing the destruction happening around you, with the things that we're gonna go over in this show today, that you're gonna see that a requirement, no matter how bad it gets, you're gonna have to wait on the Lord and be of good courage. And if you can do those two things, the Lord said He will strengthen thine heart. You know what I mean? And before you even forget, oh, well, I don't know. He said again, wait, I say, on the Lord. And all right, so that's kind of how I wanted to start this off on this end over here. So, King, if you want to go ahead and bring out your first topic, go ahead, King.
All right, Con. All right. So we talked about quite a few times about the food that's being put out on the earth, man. Right? And Esau, he's not slick. We are aware of his devices through the mercy of the Most High God, man. Right? Them giving out 1 cent burgers, 50-cent burgers, right? Even though they've never done it at all in the earth before, right? We all know
Mm,
that what those meat is actually polluted, man. We just got that feeling, man. You're not gonna sell something for $10 and then out of nowhere give it for a penny, man. Right? There's something wrong with it, man. And
that's
soon you're gonna
right.
see a whole bunch of people getting sick because of it, man. Right? And hey, you might not know that meat that they was probably selling could have been lab grown meat,
Mm, could be
right?
anything.
Beef that they cocked it up in its so-called laboratories, man.
Mm.
Right? You got that one Edomite with the ginger hair, kind of laughing like Dexter Laboratory, doing
and,
the
and
trying to pollute the Israelites, man. Right? But let's think about it. Why are they growing meat? What's the reason for it, man? Right? Why are they forced to do those type of things? Well, let's find out. Right? Let me share this tab. Can you see it, King?
Con, we got it.
It says what? The worst global food crisis in modern history is about to go an entirely new level. So wait, hold up. We're already in the world's biggest global food crisis right now, man.
Mm,
Right? And you won't see the news channels talking about this. You don't see nobody covering this, man. There's very few people who's going to cover this, man. And it's saying what? It's about to enter a whole new level, man. Hey, so the Lord is doing works, man. He's cutting off the stay of bread, man. He's making it harder for people to find food, especially that's not polluted, man. Right? Let's get this real quick. Right? Let me get this real quick. Right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says what? For behold, the Lord of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole staff of water. And so when the Lord was plaguing Jerusalem, right, about to destroy them, sending them off into slavery, right, what happened? He took away their staff of bread, man. That was one of the first things to go, man. He made it hard for you to eat and hard for you to drink,
con.
right? So, hey, if that's what the Lord did to us, right, while we was in Jerusalem, what do you think the Lord's going to do to the wicked while they're in Babylon the Great, man?
Con.
Right? Hey, the Lord, he has a he has a thing about him, man. Hey, we all have to say if it's not broke, don't fix it, man.
Don't fix it.
Hey, the Lord got ways you can't break it, man. So why would he don't have to change it up. He can just keep doing the same thing. And he has, man. Right? And we'll see that all throughout the scriptures, man. Every time Israel sinned, what happens? Hey, we go into captivity, man. And it happened multiple times, man. We sin, captivity. We sin, captivity. I'm sorry, it's we sin, we go into captivity, we repent, then we sin, then we go into captivity, then we repent, then
That
we
circle
sin.
of curses, man.
It's a circle, man. Right? And we know that because what? Ecclesiastes, man. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything has its goal, its circle of life, if you will, man.
That's right, man.
So when it comes down to it, hey, the Lord, the way the Lord's gonna took us down, hey, that's how he's gonna take on these nations, man. Go ahead, King.
Khan, all praises to the Most High, brother. Hey, since you in the mighty book of Isaiah, jump over to chapter 32 and verse 7. Because,
Con.
you're right. When we're going through a lot of the affliction that we go through, these other nations do know how to weaponize things that should not be utilized against us, man. So one of the things that, is commonly used in a stage of war, like even with this war across overseas that was going on with Ukraine, what was one of the biggest things, the conflicts that they were facing was that it was going to cause a global food shortage, right? So when you're at war, it's a tactic, man. You want to start defiling the bread. You want to contaminate their water because if they don't have be able to drink, then guess what they can't do? They can't survive too much longer. You contaminate if you cut down their food source and compromise their food, they'll get sick or they'll starve to death, right? So these things that they're utilizing are like weapons, man. And these are and read that out, brother. Bring that out, Shah.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even with the needy speaketh right.
You see, and that's what they're doing, man. They're trying to tell you, hey, come over here, get this burger for a cent, right? Get these burgers for 50 cents because they know you can't afford it. You're already struggling to make ends meet. So what's a better way to hook, line, and sinker somebody is to do what? We starving out here, man. You can't go to the grocery store and buy nothing. $100 used to be able to get you a basket full. Now you might be lucky to leave with 5 to 7 items, man. So when you
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, hey, and they know that we're this country that they have established and destroyed is in a state of inflation and a recession, and famine is everywhere because you can't pay the truckers to bring the food to no place. Now there's no grains. That's why if you look at the beginning of these events, they said at the beginning of the Russian-Ukraine war. This is beautiful because it's all tying together because it's the truth, man. The Lord's establishing the truth in these last days. They said if that was gonna be that took place, that right now when it happened 2 years ago, that you wouldn't really feel it. But because they're a major supplier of wheat and grains, right? That they had enough stored to make it through 1 to 2 years without it feeling such an impact globally. But now you're having no production because it's been what? How many years going on with this? How many? 2 years just about. So you have 2 years of crops that were feeding the whole earth without production.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's no stores for that to go globally because now the prices of everything are going up. So our people are already feeling it in the grocery stores, right? We can't. How many products are made with grains and wheat, man? You know what I'm saying? How many things that are going to be directly affected with a lack of just one source of food, right? So that's where that famine of food comes into play with that war. And what's wicked is that they're utilizing the food as a weapon. So even in the states where they're trying to do population control, so they're not trying to let us eat healthy foods anymore. But what are they doing? Hey, all of a sudden they rise the price of everything. And then, hey, you guys have been starving for 2 years. You know what? Come over here. Get a double quarter pounder for 50 cents, man. Go over here, get the damn quadruple patty, cheeseburger, baconator for a penny over here at Wendy's, man. Why in the state where you already are losing so much money. How can these places afford to give you something at free cost when they've already in the red because of how much inflation is taking place, how little supplies are available, unless there's an ulterior agenda, man, to get people, a mass group of people, to consume something unknowingly, to test it out in a human trial, basically, and to see how it affects the population, man. Because people are so desperate for food, and so what the Lord say, so needy. Our people are poor, and they're the wicked devices of these lab grown meats, these man made biological weapons that they're inputting into the food, messing with the RNA and DNA and injecting different things into antibiotics, right? And to destroy the poor with lying words. Come and eat up and eat your fill. It's good for you. And then what do we do? And even when we're trying to do the right thing, it's like, man, I'm trying to, save money. I know we got bills, so I'm gonna go get the whole family a damn, an extra cheeseburger today because they're extra cheap. So you even thinking that you do when you're doing something right, you're speaking good, you falling for these wicked devices because the troll are evil, man. And and I'll rest with that, King. You know.
Con. So, like, let's read a little bit more in this article. Right? Let's get into it. It says what? Hundreds and millions of people are desperately hungry all over the world. And by the time you are done reading this article, more children will starve to death. Early this year, CNN actually admitted that we are in the midst of the worst food crisis in modern history. But because the mainstream media rarely feature images of the tremendous suffering of the other side of the globe, most Americans don't even know that it is happening. Hey, so the nations all around the world are hungry, man, right? And you know what happens when a hungry man, you know how hungry men get? They get desperate. Oh, Salaki, I thought I was sharing it. Salaki.
There you
Here
go,
we go
King.
right here. So you okay, Con. So once again, we know what hungry men get. They get desperate, man. And when they get desperate, they're willing to do anything, kill anyone so they can eat, man. Right? If I remember correctly, right? I think it was two countries just fell out that was in NATO. They fell out with terms with each other because one needed grain and the other one couldn't give it.
Exactly.
So we living in desperate times, right? Let's read on. It says what? Here in the Western world, the primary way that the global food crisis is main manifesting is through the significance of high prices at the grocery store. So it's inflation, and that's how we
Mm.
be. This is how it's showing in so-called America KKK, man, through inflation, through the prices of food, the taxes on vegetables, fruits, right? That's how you realize what state America is in, right? The food is getting harder to find, man. And it says what? These higher prices are certainly painful, but we can deal with it. With that. Now, let's be honest, right? The Israelites, who are at the lowest of society, who's getting the minimum wage, they can't deal with this. They can't deal with prices going higher and higher and higher, man. Hey, we already see that in California. Yeah, what's going on? You got Jake stealing from stores, man. You got people looting, coming together, and I'm talking about hundreds of people. They come together, they make a plan, and they go and loot some type of store, man. And they doing that for money, man, because they need it. Most likely, man. They're not doing that stuff for fun, right?
That's
So
right.
things are getting real bad out here, right? Here's the point right here, though, right? It says what? But 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 you but when you don't have enough food to feed your families on a consistent basis, that really is a nightmare scenario. According to the official UN website, 735 people were in a state of chronic hunger last year. That's last year, man. Right? What about this year? Because it said it's getting to a whole new level, man. What about the years to come? Hey, that 735 million is going to turn into 345 billion, man. Right? It's gonna go up quickly, man. Because the Lord said what? It's for a short amount of time. Watch and it will come to pass, man. So it's only going to be a little while before what? All hell breaks loose, man. And people see how much of a difference these money this stuff is going on, this crisis, man. Right? Jake, he ain't got too long before he get that shell shocker. That brings him, that snaps him back to reality, man. And make him see the true cause of his mistakes, man. And it's the same thing for Esau. We are getting into a horrible time, man. Go ahead, King. I'm gonna let you go.
No, Con King. Let me get the book of Leviticus 26 and 26.
Come on, let's get that. Come on. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 26. And when I have broken, oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. 26 and 26. And when I have broken the staff of the bread, 10 women shall break your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat it and not be satisfied.
You see, and that's what's going on right now. The Lord knows He put us under these curses. All right, so the Israelites in this state is going to be very limited to the food that we are able to get, man. We're going to be always getting put in a position. That's even within slavery. Think about it. They'll go and they'll be like, hey, y'all got this much wheat or meal to make. And guess what our women had to do? They had to go in there and break that bread and give everybody a little ration, little piece of bread, man, just to make it through the day. So if you fast forward that still in our captivity later, even though it's more modernized, we're still in the same place, man. We go to a restaurant or a fast food restaurant, or you come home after getting a little bit, and guess what? Your wife in the kitchen, somebody's in the back of the Burger King, and then what are they doing? They breaking your meal by weight, man, and just serving you whatever you can get. So there's a famine of this food. There's a famine of anything righteous in this land, and the Lord is telling you that because we go against Him, He's gonna befall these things against us, right? And jump to Ezekiel 4:16.
Come on.
Baba Shah. And this is all in the last days, man. You're seeing how it's coming true that the Lord is bringing the famine to the earth, like in Matthew 24, right? So now you're able to easily see it. But the Lord warned us about these things. That's what He said in the law, right? And now we're gonna go into Ezekiel and see that the Lord has done this to us before, like you said, that ring of curses, man. So, Baba, could I read out Ezekiel 4:16?
Come on. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care,
And with
and
what?
and with care,
Okay.
right?
And
And
that's very important because if you got to eat how much you're gonna get this much food, and you got to be careful not to overeat. You got to be careful how much you consume because you don't know when you're gonna get your next meal, man. That means you got to be careful with the money that you're spending at the grocery store because you got to pay this bill. You got to pay for gas to get there. You got a light bill because all the power is going up because of what? Inflation and the cost of oil because now there's a disruption with the U.S. petrodollar, right? So now you got
yep,
to be very careful with the bread, not just your money, but literally the money that you use to eat with, man. And continue, Baba Shah.
come. It says, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
And right now, people can't even understand what's going on, man. They like, why is everything so expensive? Man, you gotta buy a bot. You go buy a case of water. You get a. I know, man. When shoot, I'm not the only one probably in of Israel, probably not. Man, you got to make sure you go to the grocery store, get enough, plan it out. Not your dinners, you planning out your sandwiches, man. Shit, I got to get this loaf. Nah, I can't get that loaf of bread because that's a little bit too more expensive. Let me go ahead and get this right here. Dang, let me get this sandwich meat. Nah, I can't get that sandwich meat. Get this one, man. I can't even afford cheese no more. You know what I mean? Because that damn $7 for 12 packets a slice of cheese, man. Shoot, forget about it.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And then you coming back home and you like, man, but I gotta drink something, right? You can't really drink out the tap sink because it's contaminated. So what you're gonna have to do? You're either gonna have to have a water purifier, and that's
Yep.
another expensive $100 just to have something that's good like that. So we can't afford bread, we can't afford a purifier. But now you like, let's go get some damn bottled water, and then have $6 a case of bottled water, and then you realize that there's microplastics floating around in them, man. And now you careful when you drink that. You got to drink just enough of that to drink enough of water, barely have enough bread to eat, and you sitting around here like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But the Lord's going to tell you what's going on. Go to the next scene.
It says what? Verse 17. That they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquities.
And that's why we in this condition that we in, man. We never would be in this condition if we was in the state of serving the Lord righteously, man. We would not be eating away a measure of food or contaminated waters, because the Lord said we're doing this and consuming it away for our iniquities, man. So when you're talking about, oh, we got it bad, I don't understand. But then you literally go out and go buy a bowl of chitlins. Then you go out and get a po' boy shrimp sandwich. You eating pulled pork sandwiches. I mean, you're breaking the Sabbath. You're getting doing defiling things to your sisters out here. The sisters are defiling themselves amongst the world, being in whoredom. And then you're wondering why the Lord's taking away the water and the food, and we can't afford groceries in captivity. Where you even to a point we had it. You gotta understand, our forefathers that were here establishing this country, they went through a lot of physical, a lot, mental and physical. You got born into a time where you're still in captivity, but you're so lost for appreciation of the Lord, you don't even realize that's the astonishment why this is happening to you. And when you're told to do better, what do? You double down and do twice as, and then you wonder why it's getting twice as hot out here.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautifully put, man. Right? You kind of double down on that wickedness, right? And then what? You're going to double down on your wickedness? Okay, the Lord's going to double down on his judges, man.
Huh.
And they're going to get harder and harder and worse, man. Right? You mind if I grab a quick precept, King?
Go for it, King.
Con, right? We're going to get the book of First Kings real quick.
First Kings. First Kings what?
17. I got it.
You want me to read for you?
But yeah, you can read for me, King.
First Kings 17 and
Verse 10, please.
fine. You can just leave it on screen. I'll read it for you. This is the book of First Kings, chapter 17 and verse 10. So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. She was
Right?
gone. You want me to keep going?
Khan Salaki. So it's Elisha right here, man. Right? And the Lord told him, go to Sepharad, right? And he commanded a widow woman to sustain him, man. Right? And he meets this woman and she's gathering sticks. Well, let's read on. Go ahead, King.
And verse 11, and she was going to fetch it. He called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand.
So she had the water, but she didn't. Let's see what she says about the bread, man. Read.
And she said, as the Lord thy God liveth, I have not a cake, but an handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die.
You see that? Hey, so there's gonna come to a point in time where people gonna have no choice but to eat sticks, man. Sticks, right? Now the Lord, He showed this woman great mercy, man. How? Hey, he used the prophet Elijah, right, to save that whole family, man. Right? The Lord saved that whole family, man. all because she decided to do what? Help the prophet, man. So
That's
just because she decided to help the prophet, right? Bake him food, give him some water. Hey, the Lord saved everybody in that household, man. But it was before that prophet showed up, she was about to eat sticks so they can die. That's what the scriptures say. Right? So that's what's gonna get down to real soon, man. It's gonna get to the point where people are going to wish for death, man. Right? They're gonna wish for it, man. And I don't know if y'all know, right? This is one of the hold up. Let me get this precept real quick. Right? And this is gonna be in the KJV in the book of Lamentations. Right? Let's get it real quick, real quick. Right? We'll go to Lamentations 4 real quick. Okay. Must have spelled it wrong. Salakia. Salakia, can you read Lamentations 4 and 9 for me when I get there?
Lamentations 4:9.
Yeah.
Got you.
Go ahead.
Fine. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse number 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For
You see
these
that?
pine,
Go ahead.
for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of.
You see that? So the Lord said it's better for you to get chopped down, right, than for you to die of hunger, man. So hunger is the worst way to die, man. Because you slowly wither away, man. And it's an excruciating pain, man. You all hey, this is not a normal thing, man.
Mm.
Right? And the Lord said that He's breaking that staff of bread, man. So only people who's going to be able to eat, survive, right, are going to be the ones who what? Serve the Most High God, man. Hey, exactly, sis. Hey, look, sis said what? I can't imagine eating sticks, man.
Let me
Imagine that, man.
let me hop in on there with you, man, because you think that's bad, man. Thinking sticks. Hey, bring out 2 Kings 6:25, man. Because this is what we go through when the Lord is, bringing those curses upon us in full effect, man. You got a woman. Just imagine that. You got a woman going inside. She's like, man, I ain't got really much to eat, but she's a mother, so she's like, I'm gonna try to figure this out. She going outside and go get sticks, like you saying, man. I'm gonna make a stick sandwich, man. Like we make a joke, a missing meal, an air sandwich. Have you ever ate a stick sandwich, Potter?
Nah.
Yeah, a little,
Nah.
we eating smoked hickory brisket. Are you just eating smoked hickory?
Nah.
That's a different type of sandwich, ain't it? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But Baba could shot bring out 2 Kings 6:25, man.
Come. This is the book of Second Kings, chapter 6 and verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a calf of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver.
So in these last days, it's gonna be so bad, brother. You gonna have people. Imagine like you got a new moon coming up, and because we're gonna still, even though we're in subjection, man, you still gotta keep the law. You gotta still keep the feast days, man. So I'm a call Potter up and be like, hey, Potter, can you bring me them stick sandwiches, man? Don't worry, I got it covered. I'm gonna bring a donkey head, right? A donkey's head, brother, and some dove doodoo to the feast, man. And we're gonna break donkey head, dove doodoo, and hickory stick sandwiches, man. Mesquite, since we down south, mesquite sandwiches, man. Think
Hey
about
man,
that. Just to put something in your stomach because that's how hungry you are. Because when you hear you see this a great famine. That's not like, oh man, there's a little small slight food shortage. A great famine is where you going outside. You If any animal came by, you would be, man, I'm gonna get that. But you
yeah,
have no animals to get. You see what I'm saying? You have no fruit to eat. You looking at grass, you can't eat that. You looking at things, and you just like you to the point where you like, sticks start looking delectable.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Hey, we killed a donkey." A donkey is not a clean animal, brother. You understand what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
eat horses, but you're gonna eat the head of it. And you got not just are you gonna eat it when somebody offered, you gonna be trying to buy it from somebody with your money, man. With the little silver you got in your pocket, you're gonna be like, hey, bro, just like because think about it, a donkey's unclean, right? So if somebody had like a dog head, because more of us we don't have donkeys nowadays. What we got? Pets, dogs. You know, Moab and
Mm.
them, they already doing that shit because they like it. But if you walking down the street, hungry as can be, and somebody's like, "Hey, I saw this thing," and I'm not trying to get graphic, but in the 1920s, uh, I believe that where I think it was in Russia or something. It was either or the northern states of this country when it's first being established. Oh no, that's what it was. It was here, but they were immigrants from Russia, right? This Edomite family had 5 children, right? And then great famine in the land. That guess what they'll do? Take one of their kids out at a time, and not just taking them out. They will butcher your kids up, the kid up, lay it on the table, and have people come by and buy parts of their own child, bro. That's how bad that I'm telling you. The Lord, when He say He'll let you eat the fruit of your loins that fall up between your legs, He's not playing, man. I can find historical documentation. We know we were doing it, but I've seen it being just in my lifespan, just being documented that shit when it gets so bad that no around you, you got no access to food. They get to a point of desperation to survive, eat that they'll eat their own. That's a scary thing, man. You in your house, think about that. You got a wicked man with you, or you a wicked woman, and and shit gets bad. How would you be looking over your shoulders in your house like, man? She gonna try to, stab me in the neck and then chop me up in pieces and throw me in the freezer if there's power. She gonna cook me in some. Or hey, babe, I know you hungry to me, and we can make more kids. So, and that's why they did it because they had many children, and they're like, well, we can make more. So I know it sucks, but we gonna have to eat one of y'all, but we'll make another one. Turn them into cattle, man.
And that's just nasty, man. But that's what happens, man. That's what the Lord has prepared for what? The wicked, man. For those who disobey his word. Right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I seen a video of Moab eating a horse's head, man. And I was ready to throw up. My stomach turned when I seen that, man.
You just read about it,
Right?
brother.
Hey, I've seen videos of them Thailands, right? The people from Taiwan and stuff. Hey, they take elephant boo boo, man, and they
Oh,
cook it up and they eat that, man.
oh,
There's huh?
no, that's nasty.
That's nasty, bro. And there's videos about this, man. And you'll see him. He'll take it, throw it in the pot, put some water in there, stir it
Mm-mm.
up, right? Make it into like a little soup, then turn it into a bro. It's disgusting. But that's what? That's what's going to be coming up, man. And a
Hey,
lot of people they don't they're a lot of look, Jake, we clean folks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We don't we're not gonna eat that stuff, man. I mean, we're gonna try to eat anything else before we eat that stuff. But then what? There's some people who are the children of the devil, right? And who's gonna be forced to be doing that, man? Right. So right now is the time to clean yourself off and try to get these sins off of you as much as you can. Right? Con, let's go ahead and move. You want to move on to that next topic?
I just got one more thing to just say, man. You brother, look, like, let me share my screen real quick, King.
Con, let me stop sharing.
Let me just share my screen real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick because I don't even want to hear the music. I don't even want to hear it that loud though. Check. And this is why you say these other nations, they need to be. You said we are clean folk, man. We are definitely a clean folk. But when I hear somebody say that, we African, I don't buy it.
Oh yeah, no.
So
Yeah, I ain't buying that.
look at this right here. Tell me what you say.
I see it.
This is what they do when they. I'm a just in case the music gets copywritten.
All right, so they catch
This
a
is what
bug,
they got the little kids out there, man.
smacking it.
Mosquitoes. These are mosquitoes, and this is what they doing. They get the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are nasty, brother. They suck the blood out of animals, suck the blood out of human beings. They just look how small. This is ham right here for you.
And they
Ham is having
swallow.
a good, and look what they're making, man. Ham out there, like you know what? Shit, ain't no food out there. Those are all mosquitoes out.
Uh,
You got chicken right here, but you rather go make mosquito patty, and they all looking like, ooh, are they almost ready?
oh
Mosquito,
my gosh. That's
look
not
at
even
this.
talking about the fact that he's cooking without no gloves on. So that brother got his hands all up in the meat, all up in the food, man.
The meat, the mosquitoes, man. Damn, ain't no damn meat, man. The birds are eating it. They like, ham, like, ooh, mosquitoes. Look, anybody else want some mosquito burgers?
Mosquito burgers.
So
Oh,
when you say this is we the same people, I strongly disagree.
hey,
I,
I'm
I,
already.
I strongly disagree because I know some brothers that they see a bug flying. I ain't gonna say no names, but they not down with that, man. They not eating no damn. They not. That is not what the first thing that came to their mind was like. Let's make some damn fly burgers, man. Let's make some
hey,
mosquito burgers. Let's make a bee sandwich, man. They might taste sweet since they make honey. No, we're not ham, man.
hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Some people they're afraid of spiders, man. A spider run across you. You don't want to touch that thing, man.
Fine. That's
But
that's
what?
that's 100%, man.
But what Ham doing? He gonna kind of catch it, cook
Shoot,
it up, man.
you
Have
want to
spider
dump it?
stew.
Exactly, brother. But hold up. They turned it into a family event, man. They got out there. They had the little pants and the kids are smiling and shit. And then you always hear them dying of malaria. Where you get malaria from?
Oh,
Mosquito bites. These and they always say AIDS and all that. But then when you say it, they get mad when they like, oh, you always trying to say Africans have AIDS. Y'all literally eat mosquitoes, bro. And you telling me if anybody out there got infected with anything, you make a damn patty sandwich with it. You mix it all up with the rest of the mosquitoes, right? You cook it medium well. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure they're not too crispy. And then you get in and passing it to the kids, bro. And then you wonder why you see them for $10, 30 cents a day. You're Hamite, man, because they out there eating mosquitoes. What's going on with ham, bro?
oh man.
So you want me to jump on to the next topic?
Yeah, man. I'm done with these mosquito patties, man.
All right. Well, check it out. Well, let's get to another abominable topic, man. We just went through, how this country that we are captive in going through these trying and sparing these times. But in a time when you don't have money to use, wouldn't that make sense for you to save that money? You like the Lord said, use care when using your money to make sure that you can have bread and water, right? This country is so backwards. So this is what this country is doing right now. Let's just hear a little bit of how you see that this place is only this is a place built for your downfall. So we're just gonna look at this topic real quick. Can you tell me when you can see that, King?
I see it.
It says Biden tells Zelensky that U.S. will send Ukraine ATM-ACMS long-range missiles. That's really what you need to worry about. Air-to-air uh, uh, missiles. You see what I'm saying? These are long-range missiles. So what this is doing is right now you got to understand what's happened. That Russia's over there blowing these people up left and right, left and right. But this country still is like we don't really look at it. Look what this title says. It says announces a $325 million in military aid to Ukraine on top of the billions of dollars that you've sent, so you can send range air-to-air missiles that have blown up some of Russia's key fleet, man. You, do you realize the escalation here? It's different when you send in the offensive means, right? Like, because that's what this place was standing on, was that, hey, they're not they're gonna just try to give everybody the right to protect themselves, right? But now you've gone from a defensive stance to now you're supporting these measures that can affect long range, man. So you literally joined the war now, because now you're given the ability to not just protect where they said their land that's sovereign. Now they're outside of their own country, the country that's attacking them. So now you've opened these, not now it's no longer a defense. Now you're in an offensive war, and now you're an accomplice to that. So now if you're giving my enemies long range missiles to attack me in my own country, guess what I'm gonna start doing to you? Since you're giving them that, wouldn't it be to think that now it makes sense to them for them to start attacking us? What's your thoughts on that, King?
No, I think you're right, man. First thing you want to do, you know what I'm saying? You want to cut off the supply, man. That's what you want to do with war. You always want to cut off your enemy's supply, man. That's why World War II was won. A lot of the time, hey, they cut off the supply lines or the reinforcement lines, man. So you can't get no backup, right? That divide and conquer, man. So hey, if I know that what my supplies, my enemies, they're being supplied by so-called America, man. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move in, and put my troops around America, man, to cut off that. Right. First, I'm gonna put that blockade, and we're gonna see if you're gonna get past that blockade. And while you getting past that blockade, I'm gonna set up people, have people in Mexico, have people in Canada. And believe it or not, what's going on with Venezuela right now? They're joining with who? Esau, the Russians, the Chinese. That's what they're siding with, man. Right? And that's not even regarding what the Lord said in the book of Obadiah. You mind if I get that real quick, King?
Bring it out, King.
Let's get this real quick in the book of Obadiah. Right? This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. Right? And it reads, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So you see that? The Lord saying what? Those who are in agreement, hey, they're gonna wound you, man. They're gonna give you that blow, that shot between the third and the fourth rib, man. They're gonna kill you.
Exactly,
Right?
King.
And go ahead.
Go ahead, Salah. Go, Salah.
They're gonna give you that death strike, and it's not gonna Salaki. It's not gonna kill him. It's gonna extremely wound. It's gonna be a fatal wound. And the what? Yahweh Shah is gonna come back and give you that final blow, man. Put you out your misery, man. So these surface to air missiles that America has provided for Ukraine, hey, Ukraine might use those exact same missiles on America, man.
And I'm gonna bring out, just for what you're saying, man, just so you can kind of see the stance of what these people are doing right now, man. Because this is who our people love to make excuses for. Love to say, you know what, America's a great place to be, man. You're lucky to be in America. You understand? You're lucky to be in the greatest country in the world, not realizing that the nation that Israel would be the greatest country in the world if we were back to the Lord and keeping His commandments, man. So I'm gonna bring out the book of chapter 17 and verse 11. Let me know when we're able to see it. Oh, Salah, share a screen and share. There we go.
You ain't got to do all that next time. All you got to do is switch to the tab. You should see a bar at the top that tells you to share this tab, and all you got to do is click that.
Oh, Con, check this out. Tell me when you're able to see it. It says right here. Oh, Salaka. It says right here. An evil man seeketh only. Oh, there we go. Con.
There we go. Go ahead, King.
This is Proverbs 17:11. Just going back off of what we were just talking about. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So that's literally what America's doing right now, man. How long did they have to the Ukraine thing? No, but they wanted to have that rebellion. So all they do is go all the way out of their way to try to be rebellious and cause rebellion in the earth, right? Jump down to verse 13. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil should not depart from his house. Man. So when you got this country trying to cause issues in another country, and Ukraine is saying it's a good thing because you're trying to help us, but Russia's like, we're just taking back what's our land, man. You understand? They've been declaring war against Russia 7 years prior to this even going down to at this stage. They was already going back with Russia, man. So when you got other people, the rest of the world saying, "Hey, that's a good thing. Keep sending these funds to them. Keep trying to support this war, providing more funds for the rebellion. Evil shall not depart from his house." How has that? Look what's happened to Ukraine. They getting attacked left and right. Look what's happened since this and causing the rebellion. With that being in effect, didn't that cause a domino effect for this economy here? Because now all the debt that's increasing because they're sending billions of dollars, so much that they have to raise the debt ceiling here just so they can make their bills, right? But you having to pay way more for everything that you get. Now, evil has not left this place since they furthering their rebellion and into this last days, man. Now this place is really feeling it. But check it out. What the Lord said, the beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. So they should have been, once a dam break, can you just put your hands in front of it and catch all that water? It's gonna pour. There's nothing you can do about it, man. So the Lord says better not to get involved because when you open them floodgates, you can't bring them back in. Now it's gonna flood everything, and you're gonna lose all your resources, a mess out of everything, right? And he says finally, he says, verse 15, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. See what's been going on by the actions of the American people, Esau, the head of Babylon, that these people are trying to justify their actions, and then by that means they're condemning the Israelites by us speaking like we should not be people. We should be serving our God. You can't see what they're doing. But you know, America fights for the freedom. America bombs innocent babies with drones from thousands of miles away, man. America's has raped, put people in slavery, chastised, done the most abominable things within this. We special where 6 cops violated 2 grown men in the face, man. But you're gonna say that they deserved it because they could have been potentially criminal, but the true criminal is the Israelites, man. It's the other nations, and they're trying to condemn us as us, and even both of them who condemneth us, those who swore perpetually goes after it, and they justify their actions by speaking wickedly against oppression, slavery, injustices. The Lord said these people are an abomination. So if you follow these people, you love these people, you're an abomination to the Lord as well, man, because you're what condemns and justifies. You're the one that justifies the wicked. So if you're saying that it's okay, the so-called white man, the so-called Arab man, Chinese man, is okay. They're not nothing wrong with it. Everybody, we should love everybody and get along. You justifying the wicked and the abomination. So reassess and think about that because the Lord hateth all. And if you on the other end of the Lord, you might want to be fearing, but you're gonna be proud and get destroyed, man. Let's say you're on mute, King.
Khan, right? Salaki, right? You're absolutely right, King, right? And look at that scripture. It says what? He that justifies the wicked, man. That goes for you, all you Israelites who are joined hand in hand with the enemy, man. You cannot justify the wicked, man. You can't give them confidence in their wickedness, man. You got to tell them the truth. Hey, man, that shit is wicked. Hey, that's off, right? Hey, Esau, look, wearing a skirt is wicked, man. You're not powerful. You're not mighty. You ain't a warrior. That stuff is wicked. Right? You cannot justify the wicked, neither any of their actions, man. Right? So you gotta be on their head top about things, man. And the brothers mentioned, hey, that America bombs you know what I'm saying, children. Let's see all the things that America does, man. How do they get their riches, man? Right? This is the book of Revelations 18. I'm gonna go to verse 11. It says what? The merchants and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones. Right? So this is the things that's being sold by America. Let's read on. And pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine woods, right? And all manners of vessels of ivory and all manners of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and of marble. And all of this stuff you can get out of America, man. Right? But let's see what else they're selling, right? And cinnamon and odor and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses. Here we go. Here's the point. And chariots and slaves and souls of men. And so America, this one, they're selling slaves, man, and the souls of men. That's why you got that drug, the human trafficking system now, man. Right? With the hotels, hey, look, they got dang passageways leading to your hotel room, man. Not the motel, but the actual hotel room. Hey, there could be a walkway through your closet, man. They could have a two-way mirror, man. You got to check everything nowadays, man. I just seen a video of a dude out there in New York, literally walking the streets. What did he do? He opened up the ground. He opened up the ground and he saw, because there's like a metal plate on the ground. He lifted that plate up, he flipped it, and next thing you know, all on the ground, he saw tunnels, man. He started walking through it. He found an underground bank. He found a theater, right? He then found a mall, man. And these are all things that they do to what? Sneak this the traffic people, man. Is this these things are not coincidence, right? It's not coincidental, man. They purposely build cities on top of cities so they can have layers to do their wickedness, man. Right? So hey, it took me what? I found out this year that even Houston, man, we have an underground mall. And then when you go through that underground mall, they got passageways and doors that's locked with code and key. So you got to put a certain code in to open up that door. And who knows how deep that thing goes, man? Who knows how deep that thing truly goes, man? And what's really in there, man? You have people doing their rituals, right? There's sorceries in there. You can have be sacrifices going on in there. People being used that way to traffic people, man. And I went there at night, man. And it was a ghost town. I'm talking about absolutely ghost. It was vacant. Ain't nobody was in there. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, let's get this right here. It's gonna be we're gonna get a few more. We're gonna wind down, man. All right, this is gonna be the matter of fact. No, I'm gonna try to change this topic real quick. Man. I want to get what's going on in America, man. Right. But recently, there was a New York. There was a not New York. There was a daycare in Detroit. Right. We're gonna get that. Right. It's kind of on the news. Few people saw it, I'm pretty sure, right? But we're gonna try to get into it real quick. It says what? Let me share my screen. Salaki. Share screen. All right, this
Salaki.
is gonna be. Now you good, King. This is gonna be the last topic right here.
Con.
We ain't gonna be on it for too long, right? It says what? Fentanyl, narcotics found under trapdoor at daycare where child died. And so a child died at this daycare because of the fentanyl narcotics, right? That he was exposed to, man. A daycare, man, right? It says what? New York City police found a large amount of fentanyl along with other narcotics sealed beneath a trapdoor within a daycare where a 1-year-old died due to drug overdose, man.
Con.
You see that? Hey, and for kicks, man, just for kicks, right? Let's see, let's see the nationality of this child that died. Man.
Mm.
Let's see if I can find that. Right? It said it was in New York, so let's change that. Are you speaking, King?
No, Con. If you when you get a chance, I wanted to touch on that real quick with the verse, but I didn't want to interrupt you, King.
Con, con. Hey, look, I'm gonna show the gender, the nationality of this child, man. He looked like an Israelite to me, man.
Sam.
He looks like an Israelite. So they put drugs in our schools, man, and they expose children to it, man. That's what they're doing. Go ahead, get your verse, King.
Hey, Baba Shah, Job 20 and 16, man.
Con, King.
Because that's not a slight thing, man. You know, anybody who has children, anybody who just loves their brother and their sister, just loves life. It's not a very light thing to live your everyday and then have the worst possible thing happen by carelessness, man. It's a lot more understandable when you see in the midst of a robbery get shot and get killed, right? Because you understand that they're doing works to reap that fruit. You dropping your child off at a daycare with people that you said that you could trust with their care and their safety and their security. You going off to work to go struggle to make no money to carefully be able to count your coins so you can be trying to buy bread with care, right? Not thinking like, let me worry about my child, let alone my child be being killed, dying by fentanyl, man. Fentanyl is 1,000 times more potent than heroin. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't take, and a baby weighs what? Anywhere, let's say a newborn baby, anywhere, if you getting a little fat, you about 25 pounds to a good 35 pounds. It don't take much. You take a gram of that to a 230-pound man and it'll kill him. Let alone how much little does it take for a toddler or a baby under 50 pounds? How much would it take for them to OD and die? And that wasn't the one died, but that wasn't the only one that was affected. There was a couple others that OD, but they were able to resuscitate. But one they couldn't. But let's see what this fentanyl that these other nations have created, and they're pumping through the cities because you're not getting this in here without allowance, man. What the Lord say in Job 20 and 16, man?
Job 20:16. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him.
And that's exactly what that fentanyl is, man. It's more potent than the venom of a snake, man. So when that little particle of poison touched that child, what did it do? It slayed them, man. And then it's of our people in our communities. And we don't know most man. Ask anybody. I'm not trying to talk bad about Jake and Israel, but we're not highly. Because what's the proverb we love to use and teach in the streets, man? If you want to hide something from a nigga, you put it in.
Put it in the book.
And where is a lot of knowledge found about, just in the sense you want to be worldly? Where do you get knowledge about chemistry?
In the book, chemistry book.
Where do you get knowledge about economic and global exchange and trade?
In books.
How do you find out how to smuggle and do different things and know ship countries, know how to what agencies are doing what, do what?
Yeah. You gotta look at their books.
So I don't find that, you know, Ray in the Bronx in 1C with his mom, you know, it came up with this concoction like I created by microprocessing opioids. What Jake got a hyper chemistry set, man. He ordered it with the online and shit. Back in the day when I was growing up, you can read the back of the magazine and be like, cut this out for X-ray. You know what I mean? Did did,
Yeah.
did, did he do that and get a mad scientist laboratory in 1C now? So how, if we're not producing this stuff, since they say we're the problem, the Israelites are the problem with we're not producing the fentanyl. Our men and women are dying of it. Our children are dying, and this epidemic in our community. But we're not. We don't even know. Most of our people aren't chemists. They're not going to know how to handle this. This isn't Breaking Bad, but we're Breaking Bad, literally. You dig what I'm saying? How's that the case, man? Because this is what it is, man. This is poison that they're giving our people, and we overlook these atrocities because what we justify the wicked, man. And if you're one to say, "Oh, it's all right," it's what it is in the hood. This is how it goes. You're the wicked. You're justifying the wicked, man. You should be outraged because your people of Israel are being touched. Your people are being targeted. Your people are being slain from a babe to a man to make sure that there's no. And look, and it was a little young boy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not that. That was the future Israelite king right there, man. No longer can be because of what? The death of the nations, man. The death and the devices, the poison, the things that are killing us hand over foot.
Hey,
Not real.
Salaki. Let me just say, man. Right? That is very sad, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's also judgment, man.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's always bittersweet, man. That's why we got to be fearful of the Lord. That fear of the Lord is crazy, man. Because the Lord, He don't have to touch you if He don't want to. He can touch everybody around you. Take all the things that you love, and He did that to Job. Job lost all his sons and daughters, all his cattle, all his flock, all his servants, man. And the Lord gave it all back and gave him more children. But He still, you know what I'm saying? Imagine mourning that loss for all your children. You
Mm.
have 7 of them, right? This child, right, was a baby. But let's just be honest, man. Because that baby was in that daycare, I'm pretty sure all the other childs in this class are what? Drug addicts, man. Now they probably got a drug addiction, man. And that's crazy, man. My niece, right? My niece, she had a sugar addiction. And when you wouldn't give her sugar, she would kind of be mopey, kind of be real low, be having a bad attitude, sometimes cry, yells, kick, scream, right? And that's with sugar, letting on fentanyl, right? Which is like the brother said, 10 times stronger, man. Hey, these children is going to go through withdrawal, man. And you know what I'm saying? You don't know how crucial or how bad it's going to be for these children, man. And these are 1-year olds. I'm led to believe all the children in this class are around his age. So probably 1-year olds, right? Maybe 2-year olds, so on and so forth, man.
Huh.
Right? So
And,
go
and
ahead.
like you said, man, like it's one of those things where it is judgment, and because it's a child, it'll make you think you would have to think. So can you bring me to the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 13?
Con King.
Because that's what that was a beautiful point you made right there, man. Because like, you know, the eyes, the heart is desperately wicked above all things, man. And if you don't have the sense and the sight through the scriptures, man, you'll be jammed up with your vision and what you see that's taking place in the world, man. Read that out, Papa Shah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 17.
13, Baba Shah.
Con. Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. Consider the work of God, right? For who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Exactly, man. So you got to consider the works, no matter if you think it's good or it's bad, man. Because that you would think, oh, that's a wicked thing that would happen, but the Lord would already declare to us, like, if you keep these commandments, you shall feel no evil thing, man. And you know
Uh,
that it's also scriptural that it's like, when they saw the blind man, they said, the disciples said, hey, Lord, who sinned, him or his parents, man? So you don't know the judgment being befallen against you if it's directly from what you've done in your previous life, something you're doing in your current life, or something that your parents have done. That now you're reaping the consequence. Because what happened to King David's son after he committed adultery? What
got
if
killed.
what if the baby died, right?
Yeah.
But what did the baby do? That was a result of King David's actions. That baby was not going to be able to survive, man. You dig what I'm saying? So when we're looking at it, you're like, who can make straight, which is he made crooked? But go to verse 14.
Con. Verse 14. And it reads, in the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. Yahweh, God, also have set the one over against the other to the end that man should find nothing after him.
See that? So basically, like there's always something that you can be happy for. Things go bad for you. You gotta remember, just like what's more work a child unexpectedly to a fentanyl overdose, man. The Lord is setting good against evil, good days against all of these things are works of the Most High, man. So how can you set your lips against it? Because the Lord's declaring these things, and ultimately, if you got to realize that the Lord's just not a hitman. I'm gonna just snipe him down because there's no cause, man. You got to understand that it's related to some action of somebody, and if you're the parent, you got to examine yourself. That would be that's when the Lord brings a person low. Like there's nothing harder than a parent losing a child. Trust me, because I can imagine. I've seen it. The questioning of oneself. What did I do to deserve this? What could I have done better? Why, Lord?
Mm,
Why, Lord? They did nothing. Why can it be me? But in all those questions, was there ever one question to ask yourself? Was it because I broke the commandments? Did my son or my daughter in their previous life, or is this a judgment for how they were living before? Because I study the scriptures and know how the Lord brings you on earth and you live out your judgment on earth. What is that? Second Ezra 6 and what is that? That we bring it out. Second Ezra's 14 and 35, Baba Kasha.
con,
Because that's literally one of those things that if you're mindfully keeping and meditating on these scriptures day and night, you'll be able to see these things that are carnally visual, like, man, that's wicked, man, the baby. But then when you really look at the scriptures, know how the Lord works, you're gonna ask better questions. You're gonna have yourself in line with the Lord and in His ways and His scriptures, because you're gonna understand something about life and death. Bring that out, Baruch Shah.
con. Second Ezra chapter 14 and verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
So how long has a baby been on earth, man? So you can't really say the baby's works were so vile and defiling like they're out here willfully breaking the Sabbath or eating abominable things or getting into wickedness. You barely got enough time to you chewing on down anything that you can fit in your mouth, man. You don't even have words. You can't even speak ill word because you haven't even learned to really speak yet. So when you're looking at it like, oh, that's heartbreaking, you gotta understand that
Yeah.
it looks a certain way to the untrained, the unspirited eye, but the Lord tells you when you live again. And what is the closest point to know that you just started living again? You have to be a what? A baby. That's the first beginning of life. So the Lord judged him from his previous life very early on, man. So you got to think, hey, hey, that's how the Lord deals, man. Go ahead.
Precept, right? Classic precept, right? We read it all the time. This is what? The book of Psalms, right? Chapter 19 and verse 7. The
Mm,
law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening to the eyes, right? The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
huh. All praises most high,
So,
man.
hey, that was a righteous thing, man. Right? That's the Lord's judgments, man. They're righteous. They're always on point, man. It's always correct. It's always perfect, man. Right? And it might be hard to see, might be hard to understand. That's with a lot of things, man. But as Israelites, we got to be what? Hey, we got to realize that what? Some things are above us. It's
Mm,
not for us. It's not for us to catch it. We just got to live with the Lord's judgments, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's hard seeing how people go into slavery and captivity, man. It's hard to see people my age, younger, out there being homeless, man. But that's the what? The judgments of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So what we got think one thing we need to do is what? Rejoice, man. Because you never know. The Lord also said this, man. Let me get this. Salakia.
now go ahead,
Right.
brother.
Let's see what the Lord also said about uh the righteous people of the earth, man. Let me get this real quick. Right. We're gonna get the book of wisdom of Solomon, and we're gonna get the third chapter. Right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High God, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are at peace, man. Hey, you don't know who that child could be. That child could be somebody special to the Most High God. And the Most High God took him out this earth so he won't be corrupted, man. The Lord had to take you out in a nice way. He can take you out in a different way, man. And you can still be a righteous person, man.
That's right.
There's righteous men who dies from heart attacks, right? There could be righteous men who goes to sleep and they pass away in their sleep, man. And then there's some men who don't die, right? We don't know none of these people on the earth. It's all due to the Lord's judgment. He knows everybody. He knows every spirit, right? But we don't. You know what I'm saying? This child could have been a mighty person in Israel. The Lord said, okay, look, I'll put you on the earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you on this earth for a short amount of time, but then I'm gonna bring you back to me. And the Lord could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So not everything is meant to be taken for sadness, man. Hey, he's at peace now. Death is we gotta do a video about death, man, because death for Israelites, you know what I'm saying, it was looked at differently, man.
Huh.
You
Bring
know
out
what I'm saying?
Isaiah 50. I think it's 57 and 1.
Isaiah 57, Isaiah 57, and what?
And 1.
Uh, Isaiah 57 and verse 1.
Yeah.
The righteous perished, and no man layeth too hard, and the merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
See that? So, and that could be another thing, man. You're right. It could be judgment, but it also could be the mercies of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing these things just so you may not feel the evil to come. Maybe he didn't want that child to suffer for the atrocious things that we're gonna have to endure. Because maybe the Lord was like, I already got a spot for him. Maybe you needing to get refined. Maybe in his last life he proved himself, and now this is gonna happen. I'm gonna make him sleep and then rise him up just so he can get to the resurrection of salvation, man. But I don't want him to experience being chopped up and left starving and being shot and hunted down and kicked in the streets, dashed against the stone because he's a baby, man. But nobody considers these are things are merciful. What you got?
Hey, Salaki, real quick, the seven children that died in the book of Second Maccabees, hey, they had a much grievous death, and they
Mm-hmm.
were found righteous in the eyes of the Lord, man. They was filleted up, chopped up, and served on a skillet, man.
Con,
You know what I'm
con.
saying? Cooked in oil. But yeah, man, go ahead, King. I'm sorry,
No,
Salaki.
no, you good, King. That's a mighty point. You know what I mean? And that's the evil that the Lord could be sparing that young man from. You know what I mean? And that's what we gotta think. It says right here, and no man lay it to heart. Because when things go bad for you, you only see the bad part of it. You never look at it with the good eye. With like, you know what? I didn't do this. It's like you gotta understand. There's a difference. Because where is it in Proverbs? It said that the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So when you put like, when you go take your dog to get put it down just because you like, I don't want it to suffer, but it wanted to live. So when you think you're doing something good by tender, like putting it's like when an old person get too old, it's like, oh, they're too old. I don't want them to struggle walking around. So let's go just kill them. So we don't got to work. They don't have to suffer anymore. You're trying to justify your wicked actions, right? So with this, nobody lays in the head into mind that the Lord is being merciful with this type of killing, man. Because maybe, like you say, you don't see that. And I wanted to go back to Second Ezra 14, but I wanted you to read 34 though,
Let me go back
because
to it.
and this is a mighty thing that we could deal better with death because you know what? Hey man, the Lord called that a merciful thing.
Okay. Give me a second, Salaki. Second, Ezra
14,
14.
and we'll do it 34.
Come 34, and it reads, Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
You see that? Because that went into what you just said as well. Psalms 19:7, man. That you got to convert your soul. You got to reform your heart, man. Now, how do you do that? By keeping these commandments. And if you keep these commandments, hey, the wages of sin is death. Commandments is the doctrine of life. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we got to understand is we don't need to lean on our own understanding and try to act upon our feelings, meaning like, oh, that baby was like this, so I'm just gonna say the hell with it. I don't care. There's no point in living. You got to subdue all those things, man.
Mhm.
What you should be doing is reforming your heart to understand what the Lord is doing and how He operates, so you don't even have to think about it. You just, hey, lean on the words of the Lord. Truthfully, not like Christians. Oh, I pray to God. No, you need to understand how the Lord operates, what you're supposed to be doing and operating as an Israelite. That's what the reforming means. Reform means to change completely. Convert means to change entirely. And if you do that, the Lord says, "Ye shall be kept alive, and after death you shall obtain mercy." And what did the Lord say with this in Isaiah 57:1? That was a merciful thing to make sure that the evil to come. So
Uh,
that's what you gotta understand. Don't lean on your own understanding, trying to see for what you think it is, what you feel it to be, because the Lord said you don't even consider what it may really be. And I'll yield with that.
hey, Khan King, what I'm saying? I just want to say, that's important to understand because, us as Israelites, what I'm saying, I hear it amongst our community all the time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was mad at God because he killed my mom.
Mm,
I was mad at God because he killed my father,
mm.
because he killed my child. You know what I'm saying? And we got to make sure that that spirit don't hop up on us, man. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that death is not a bad thing is, them being at peace. They're with the Most High God right now.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? They have no worries. They're literally with the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to try our best. You know, not let that spirit come upon us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. And you brought something up very, very man, very important, man. And this you said something like they try to say things against the most high God. I had this one scripture and it just went straight with it, but I just there's so many scriptures, brother. That it's
Yeah.
hard to kind of remember every last one of where they land at. But if
All
I
right, go.
find it, it said what I'm trying to it's like what evil thing who can have counsel against the Lord, man? Like what counsel who can Lord like who can say something against him that's true? You know what I mean? Who can speak wicked above the against the Lord? And who can speak and who can say anything against him, man? He's perfect and pure, man.
It sound like Ezra's.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe in Proverbs.
No, that's not me.
It's not Ezra. But either way, it is what it is. But if the Lord wanted
Oh,
me to,
that's Job. Who can argue with the Lord? Or if he asks you a question, who can answer any one of his questions?
you're talking about the who replies against the Most High, right?
Yeah.
Uh, uh Snaps. Um, I, mm, I can't. I don't know where it's at, King. It's okay. There it is. Proverbs 21 and 30, man.
Okay, let me get it real quick.
Because this you just say that you got people to be like, well, how did you say it again? What did you just say? Repeat what you just said.
People say that people that say they get mad at God because he killed their mother.
And you said that
So they
they
get
said that there is what? How they feel
they
about them.
they they get mad at God. You know what I'm saying? Because he killed their parents. You
And
know
you
what I'm
say
saying?
they
They're
were,
mad at the Most High God.
yeah. And then, and basically when you're getting like that and you start talking noise about the Most High God, what can you say against him that's in a sense true? Check it out. What is it? As 21 and 30. Oh, actually, start at 29.
29.
Yeah,
You see it?
yeah.
Come on, Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 29. A wicked man hardened his face, but as for the aright, he directed his way.
See, so what
There,
you just said is they get mad at the Most High. So what's hardening faith? Looking all kind of messed
hardened,
up, saying crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But if you an upright man, you like, man, all praise the Most High. That's what the Lord wanted to have happen, right? But read the next verse.
okay, come. It says what? There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the God, against the Lord.
See that? You can't say, well, he was wrong, or why did you do that? Why you got your face all smushed up and cussing out the Lord? Like, I could have did that better. You don't know why you did that. You wrong for what you did. There's no counsel. There's no wisdom or understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. So there's nothing you can say to be like the Lord was wrong for what he did. You can't be mad because if you're hardening up your face against the works of the Lord said you wicked, man. But if you upright, you see that being the will of the Lord, and you respect it and you honor it because you're not gonna disrespect because you know that the Lord can nobody can deliver you at the hands of the Lord. So if it's gonna go down, the Lord said He make it alive and He kill it. So you can't really be like, oh, why, and then trying to murmur against the Lord. There's nothing you can say that's gonna be you can never be right with the words you say against the Lord anyway. So why even bother and why show yourself to be wicked? Why not learn to love the Lord's judgments, like you said in Psalms 19? You know what I'm
Come,
saying? So and that just goes into another form of pride, man.
come.
Because if you and just look at it, go into verse 4 with that. it says, you know, actually, let's go to verse 2. It says, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. So you already like, I think he should have been alive or she should have been alive because I feel because you thinking that you right in your own ways. But the Lord said, verse 3, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. So to do something for him to do what he does is the most acceptable justice and judgment. And the Lord is about justice and judgment. That's why we're gonna get up out of here. And to think that the people that afflicting us is not gonna get justice, you don't know the scriptures, man. It's a righteous thing to trouble us, but the Lord said he loves justice and judgment. So he's gonna come and justly save us and give back the consequences that were given delivered towards us. He's going to give to these other nations. And he says what in verse 4? And high look and in a proud heart and a plowing of the wicked is sin. And that's all that is against the Lord. When you have an angry countenance and you saying this and that, it's sin, brother. Because he did not, no matter how much he went through, he did not with his lips. He did not with his lips.
Con. And let's get just a little bit more of that just balance, man. Israel, we're tender-hearted, man. We have love for our people. We care for our people tremendously, man. Especially if you're a righteous individual. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, us seeing these things, it might hurt at the strings, but hey, look, it's the judgments of the Lord. There's nothing you can do about it, but low key rejoice because it's the judgment of the Most High God, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a terrible thing to say, but it's just what it is, man. Right? But Khan, man, I think we should be good on this video, King. Or you want to go? You got another topic?
No, I think that we covered a lot of stuff in today's current events, and um it's just very important for everybody that's watching this is to always stay mindful of your surroundings, man. Watch, like the Lord said, watch or I'll come upon you like a thief in the night. Man. The way you can keep these things in your frontlets of your eyes is to be mindfully watching what's going on around you. Sure that you're keeping up with the things that are currently happening in the world in any city where Israelites are at, man. The state of the world, because if you don't do that, you don't get caught unawares, and that's not. And the Lord speaks of that happening to select as well. So to make your election sure, try your best to stay in these scriptures, meditate in these scriptures all day. Joshua 1:8. Repent, keep the commandments of the Lord, stay aware of what's going on in the world right now, and try to watch for the signs of the return of the man to get us up out of here. And with that, that's all I gotta say, King.
Hey, Khan, right? And my what I've been looking at tremendously is what wisdom, man. Right? Wisdom is a preserver, man. So we all gotta, what I'm saying, wisdom and the fear of the Lord. These are all the things that preserve you, man. So as it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, you know what I'm saying? Hey, wisdom is a defense, right? And money is a defense. But what's the chief defense? It tells you wisdom, man. Wisdom is more important than money, man. So that being said, you know what I'm saying? Let's all, you know what I'm saying, try to come back to the wisdom of the Most High God, right? Repent more, pray more, fast more, sacrifice more for the Heavenly Father, man. Right? Hey, with that, hey, all praise to the Most High, right? Thank the Most High for another episode of blowing that trumpet, right? And what?
Stay on your pivot. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom.